Hey YouTube, Dan Otto here, and it is the last week of the season. We have Master League open and like a catch cup from the last couple months. So let's go over the top Master League teams that you can potentially use. I'm gonna have 4 teams here, 2 that I showcased on my channel, 2 from other channels that I liked, and I will go over the teams, why they're strong, and how to sort of use them. So you have the first one. I think this was on those channel, Genesect, Mewtwo, and Hydreigon. And this is, on first glance, I was like, this is a really interesting team because you have Mewtwo, who I loved as safe swap. The only problem with Mewtwo as a safe swap on this team, you maybe want to use Hydreigon as a safe swap because Mewtwo, the only problem with Mewtwo as a safe swap right now is that it's just going to get absolutely walled by darks, right? If you run into a Yveltal, you run into a Zarude, you have nothing to throw. If your opponent doesn't have those Pokemon, you are looking great because even if they come in with like a Ghost or something, like you have the Shadow Ball that you can nuke, and you have the Side Strike, which just charges so fast. So Mewtwo is an amazing Pokemon, love it. Genesect is an interesting one because you have the bug that does amazing. I've seen my faction teammate use this in Master League, and how just strong this Pokemon is because you have the Fury Cutter Xers, which is great against all the Psychics. You have the Ice, which does great against the Flyers, and the Dragons, which there's a lot of them there, and it charges really, really fast. And so you got to keep it away from a hoe, like, or else you're going to get lit up. But most part, it's extremely strong Pokemon. And then Hydreigon in the back, running Flash Cannon. So I think this is running Flash Cannon to catch the like Zacians off guard, and Flash Cannon it to take it out. Because Dragon Breath Dark, you're just like, you have nowhere to go. So you need that sort of Flash Cannon coverage. So I like the team. Anytime there's a dragon that cannot, like, a dragon is always strong in the meta. A dragon that knows Dark for all the ghosts in the meta is strong. And then having that Flash Cannon there for Zacian and other fairies is good. And then Fury Cutter X Scissor is good. So you can kind of like, I think you're, what's your type? Yeah, I think you're Bug Steel, right? So that's why you're in there to deal with all the, like, the Charmers, fairies. And then Mewtwo is a safe swap. So like this team, Technoblast, Genesect is really, really underrated in the Master League. This other one, Landorus, Giratina, Dialga, pretty straightforward, right? Like a variation of this team before was like Groudon, Giratina, Dialga way back in the day. So Dialga is just Dialga, you know what it does, right? One of the top Pokemon, Dragon Breath. Half Steel just neutralizes the dragon, which makes it so strong. Giratina just deals with a ton, right? Psychics and everything. And then what I think was interesting on this team is Landorus, because Landorus is, if you haven't run into Landorus, it is very tricky to go against because you either can like beat it quite handily, or you're just gonna be so surprised how fast these moves come. Because Superpower Mud Shot just charges so fast. Superpower Stone Edge, right? So Superpower for all your steals, Stone Edge for your flyers, and for the most part, just anywhere neutral situation, Stone Edge is gonna hurt a lot, right? Dialga, like, I'd probably you run Dialga as a safe swap because it's pretty easy on this team to run a safe swap. But otherwise, like, super strong Pokemon in the back. Like, all 3 are super strong Pokemon. Good coverage, like weak to water up front, but Giratina deals with that, and to a certain extent, Dialga does as well. Dialga is weak to ground. Your front, realistically, front 2 will deal with that. Giratina is weak to dark, so you have like a pure dark answer, but between the other 2, you can deal, right? So strong team. Like, if you see a water on the lead, I bail into Dialga. Otherwise, I'm probably staying in and throwing Superpowers or Stone Edge depending on what is in the lead. So this one I just covered. It's your very, very basic, no legendary. I would run, because they were running Draco Meteor. I think this was an older one. Run Superpower, because Superpower just, Dragonite Superpower is like kind of broken in Master League right now. Just because you have like the Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw, which can stay up with almost any dragon in the meta. And then you would have Superpower, which deals with all your steals that are there. The problem if you're running Dragon Claw, Draco Meteor, I mean, it doesn't matter, Superpower, Draco Meteor, Dragon, you have no answer for fairies, which is why you have 2 answers for fairy on the back. So Dragonite, Double Steel, very common lineup. Still very, very, very strong, right? Both back Pokemon realistically can be safe swaps. I like Extra better just because you can just spam really, really, really quick and try and grab some shields there. But Double Steel, so basically I want to say I'm staying in unless I see a fairy. I don't know if that's the truth because the back 2 Pokemon are going to have a hard time with like Kyogre, right? So you need to almost try and draw out a Kyogre and then punish it with your Dragonite after. So I may if I don't see a Kyogre on the lead and I don't see a Fairy on the lead, I'll probably stay in for a bit, and then it takes a bit of like team thinking. Like, okay, my opponent has this on the lead. What are their possible back combinations to see if you need to draw out a water Pokemon or you need to draw out ground. You can sort of deal with like. I mean, I guess you can kind of deal with like Groudon on the back with Metagross, but like you're kind of double weak to ground on the back too, right? So you kind of need to try and pull out those Pokemon. But you can't just like immediately bail. And that's just where like practice and understanding team building comes forward. And the last one I just covered, Zacian, Dialga, Yveltal. Again, super strong team. Everything on this team is meta. Everything on this team has dominant matches. You have Zacian, again, although this new Pokemon, I haven't actually seen it yet or played it yet, but this new Pokemon is supposed to like dominate because it's like it's a steel, I forget what the secondary type it is, but is a Pokemon that has like a 900, 800 win rating on PvPoke against Zacian. So watch out for that if it's out there now. But for the most part, Zacian was pretty unchecked except for like your steals. This person was running on the lead close combat wild charge. You can also run as a safe swap, play rough close combat. I don't mind that at all either. Dialga, we've already gone over Dialga. And then Yveltal is one of those Pokemon where, same thing, as long as you don't run into a fairy where you just get like walled and you're in big trouble, like any sort of neutral matchup, these Dark Pulses do like 50% and Focus Blast for all the steals can one shot. Yveltal is a really strong Pokemon, really kind of fast with the Snarl energy generation to load. You just gotta keep it away from fairies, but like takes out all the psychics and Mewtwo, like Mewtwo and Lugia, takes out all your ghosts. And Giratina and stuff like that, right? So it's a super strong Pokemon if you can keep it away from fairies. So those are the teams. Good luck. Like I said, I do not have any of these Pokemon at level 50, so I will be playing the Catch Cup. Catch Cup is just kind of what has happened over the past 2 to 3 months. So for the most part, I looked at my Pokemon. I'm like, what do I actually have that I could either build up that is strong or is already like around 1500 that I'm just going to use. So the only thing that I did build up, which I expect a lot of people will be in the same sort of situation, is Toxapex. It's a really strong Pokemon in general, and it only takes like 35 XL candies to get to like some of the max, and I had to walk and dump 180 rare candies into mine because I did not grind enough when it came out. That's the dad work life here. So that's going to be everywhere. I would expect Halloween just happened, so Trevenants are going to be everywhere. I would expect, depending on your words, Medicham and stuff like that, like your typical. It's going to be a combination of Pokemon that people are going to build anyways to use in the future, or strong Pokemon that won't cost a lot to invest. It's like, for example, I caught a 1487, 1490, somewhere in there, Oranguru, right? Psychic Pokemon has some play. It's not like my ideal IVs, but it's already at max there. So I may run like an Oranguru. So I think it's going to be a combo of Pokemon that people are going to build up like, yeah, I'm going to use it anyways moving forward, so I'm going to build it up, versus like, I don't have level 50 Pokemon. I just want to play what's going to be a decent Pokemon that's relatively cheap for me to use. So I think you're going to see a weird combo of that. So it's tough to talk about that meta. Yeah, so Master League meta is very limited. You know the 10, 15 Pokemon that you're going to see every single time. And then for those like me playing the other one, good luck. And that is it. We have 1 week left. I'm filming this. I guess I'm only filming this in day in advance because, again, rant. I sound like the penguin there. Anyways, so if you are, I've lost 6 or 7 games where I was winning most of them. 6 or 7 games where my game just like crashed. It's an Android problem after this update. Otherwise, the game is very smooth. It's very fast when you're playing it, but it crashes GBL. So I've lost 6 to 7 games. Niantic has not come out and said this yet, but usually when there's an issue like this, they will try to make it up by saying like, these last 4 or 5 days, you can play 10, 15, 20, 25 games per day, right? So that may happen if you're pushing to Legend. So just watch out for that. I'll put it in like a community post or on my Twitter if they do that. So check out Twitter below. And yeah, that's basically it. And then we'll get news for the new season because the season ends next Thursday, I think. yeah, so I'll come out with the news when that happens. And then next Saturday is Toronto Regional. So we will see. Hopefully they fix this crashing bug by then. Anyways, done the rant. That's it. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.